Okay, now I realize we just finished filing our taxes, and you probably breathed a sigh of relief now and are glad that it's over. Maybe you don't want to start talking about taxes again already, but I promise you, if you'll stick around for just a couple of minutes here, you're going to hear some things that's going to make next tax season much, much more tolerable, okay? Got Kevin Brown here today from Rosner, Brown, Touchstone, and Keller to talk about planning ahead and getting ahead of this thing and taking some of this pressure and stress off.
Yeah, absolutely.
But first, if there are folks watching this morning that have not filed their taxes yet, let's take care of them, and then we'll move on down the road.
Well, hopefully, if they haven't filed their taxes, they've applied for an extension, which will give them till October 15th to finish their taxes and get those filed. If they unfortunately haven't done that, then they really need to prepare those immediately, because they could end up with some substantial penalties if they haven't paid.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is, just ignoring it, that's really about your last option, isn't it?
That's a bad resort. Yeah,
right.
You don't want to head that direction.
All right, so do folks need the help of a CPA in cases like that? I mean, in order to really get it done?
Well, they certainly may. You know, they may need somebody to help, and maybe they just delayed, or they just, you know, you don't want to get around to it. It's not the funnest thing in the world to deal with reporting taxes. So, but if they haven't and they're not sure what to do, definitely they should get with somebody
Get in touch with a professional and save yourself a lot of grief. Absolutely. Today's economic environment, tax laws changing constantly. Let's move forward now and give folks some suggestions starting right now, just things to think about and kind of things to start planning ahead for.
Yeah, and you mentioned planning ahead. It's really critical. I look at the tax reporting process, meaning the tax return really is the finished product of what should be planning throughout the year. You know, some things that they can be doing now and looking at is really, I like to look with our clients at both short-term and long-term things to plan for. And really you mentioned a couple of items. What are some things they could be doing? And really, retirement planning is a great thing to be focusing on, both for tax and financial planning, because immediate savings can come from, you know, putting money into a retirement plan.
Right.
So maybe as much as 40% of what you contribute can be saved. So
and a lot of folks don't realize that. They look at their paycheck and they say, I can't afford to save anything out of this, or I can't afford to save very much. But somebody like yourself can show people how it practically, you won't even hardly notice a difference sometimes in your actual take-home pay if you structure it properly.
Correctly. Good. Very good. That's very good, because yeah, they'll hear, well, if I give $100 a month or something out of my paycheck, I mean, that's, you know, that's hard to do.
Right.
But maybe that only costs them $60, $70, but more importantly, they're building for retirement, because these ever-changing times and difficult times have really put pressure on what we're going to have in the future and what we're going to be able to.
I mean, if folks are counting on Social Security and they're maybe in their 20s, 30s, 40s right now, they might be in for a bit of a wake-up call. It might be kind of painful.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all hear in the news, maybe even daily or certainly often, that there's going to be some changes. We don't know what yet, but those people in the 30s and 40s that you mentioned, maybe looking at a further time to get that money. Maybe instead of 65, it's pushed off to 70.
Right.
So,
hey, in the limited time that we have, and there's a lot of women watching the program this morning that are maybe heads of household, or maybe they take care of the finances in their house. Maybe they're widowed and so forth. Give them kind of some guidance here this morning on what they should be doing.
Yeah, if maybe they're head of household, so they're kind of really doing it all. I think what's critical during that time is monthly, what do you have to use, and really to not have surprises. And from a tax standpoint, you don't want to be surprised April 15th when you do file that tax return that I owe some money, because finances are probably tight. So it's really important to plan ahead and really look at what should I have been withheld out of my taxes during each paycheck, so that you can maximize the money you have now and not have some surprises come April 15th.
Well, before we go then, you've given some great suggestions. Rosner, Brown, Touchstone, and Keller. Just tell me a little bit about the firm so that folks can get in touch with you.
Great. Well, we're a San Diego firm. Actually, we operate in San Diego and Riverside County. Been in business here since 1981. 15 great people in our firm, and we really look at our goal and objective is to help our clients, navigate through their financial life and really help them, achieve their goals.
Well, folks, you can get in touch with Kevin Brown directly, anybody at Rossner Brown, Touchstone, and Keller to help you out, answer your questions. But by all means, ask the questions. Don't wait.
Right. Yes.
Do it now, and maybe just get a consultation and see how they can maybe help you save some money while not taking a whole lot out of your take-home pay at the same time. It'd be a good place to start. Great to see you, Kevin. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. Pleasure. Appreciate it.
And